All right, guys, let's get on to our next topic, and it has to do with a rookie linebacker facing arguably the toughest test in the entire NFL. This is Carson Schwesinger's second game ever. He's wearing the green dot, and now he has to figure out whether or not Lamar Jackson is keeping it or giving the ball to Derrick Henry on read options. Gee, how much of a challenge is this going to be for Carson Schwesinger in just his second ever NFL game?
Well, he's done this a little bit before in college, but this gives him a little bit of a bigger challenge just because there's so many things to do. Baltimore can be very multiple in your setups, and so the thing you worry about is, okay, hey, are we getting lined up correctly? Are we getting the call in correctly? Because you have to be gap assigned when you talk about Lamar Jackson, and you gotta have your call in and ready to go and get down and play. Maybe Jim Schwartz in this case says, listen, we're going to simplify things. We're going to get you guys lined up correctly first, and then you guys just play fast. That's the key to stopping Derrick Henry. You got to get penetration in the backfield. You got to stop him before he gets downhill. But we'll see how close he is to a JOK. We've mentioned this before. JOK is kind of a draft pick that they got specifically for Lamar Jackson to shadow all over the field. We know Carson Schwesinger is a hitter. We know about his athleticism. We're going to get a chance to see it today, Bull.
You know, when you look at the Browns defense and what happened last week, and obviously it's different because Lamar Jackson's game is different than Joe Burrow, but as my good friend G. Bush would say, don't get it twisted. The defense goes as Myles Garrett goes.
Yeah.
So it was when Myles Garrett exploded on that first drive of the second half, that's when everybody else on the defense came to life. So the other players are good players, no doubt about it. Carson Schwesinger did a tremendous job in his first game. But Myles Garrett wreaking havoc, that's what makes everybody else's job easier. It's that simple. So if Myles Garrett gets shut down in this game, you're going to see a lot of players on the defense. They didn't have great games. I wonder why. Well, it's because Myles Garrett didn't. He makes things easier for everybody. When he becomes a nuisance, which it happens quite often, that's a problem, and it just opens up everybody else.
Yeah, it's a great point. Schwesinger, for his role, I thought he had a great first game. Met the task. It almost felt like he knew what was coming from the Bengals. That's how in tune he was with the scouting report, with the game plan. Much bigger task, obviously, this week. I like what we've seen so far, and we'll see if he's up to the task.
I can't remember, guys, a time in the last 10 years, and this isn't something that you really is very noteworthy, but can you guys think of a time where a player has faced a bigger challenge? 2 games into his career, he wears the green dot. He's facing 2 of the most prolific offensive players that we've seen in the last decade, and he's the guy in charge of the communication. All that being said, I think he's up to the task. I'm not saying they're going to stop these 2 because I don't think they are, but I don't think the Ravens are going to have all kinds of offensive success because of Carson Schwesinger. I think he's just going to be one of 11 victims on Sunday. But this is a huge task for him. And if for some reason they hold these 2 guys in check, like they did Burrow and Chase last week, and he's a big part of that, then we're looking at, dare we say it, you had mentioned he kind of reminds you of Clay Matthews. If he's able to do that in game 2 of his NFL career, to me, it takes whatever lid on his success I've put and it blows it right off. So I'm watching carefully.
And the defense as a whole, I think, listen, the Browns defense played very well last week. They played an amazing second half. But I think myself and many others are like, okay, Bengals always struggle in week 1. Yeah. Let's see it.
Do it against Baltimore on the road.
Yeah.
And if they should hold them under 20 points,
guys,
I think we're looking at a very, very good
defense. That's going to be eye-opening if that happens.
Yeah, it's a very tall task, and I personally don't think they'll do it, but we'll see.
But if they do, if they do, win or lose, I'm going to change my opinion on how I think the season's going to go to some degree.